Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Assistant Chief Constable Matt Longman here at Devon and Cornwall Police, and I'd like to read you this short statement now on our whereabouts today. We can confirm that a 26-year-old man was arrested at an address in Newton Abbot this afternoon on suspicion of the murder of Ann Widdecombe. The suspect, who is a white British national, remains in police custody whilst inquiries continue. Officers were called to Miss Widdecombe's home at Haytor by the ambulance service around 11:40 a.m. on Thursday the 9th of July. Sadly, 78-year-old Miss Widdecombe was located deceased within the property. She has sustained serious injuries. Her next of kin have been informed and are being supported by specially trained officers. Detectives from the Force Major Crime Investigation Team have launched a murder investigation and are conducting extensive inquiries into the circumstances surrounding Miss Widdecombe's death. While we work closely with our partners and have consulted counter-terrorism policing as part of our initial inquiries, the incident is not being treated as terrorism. A cordon remains in place at the property while specialist officers continue forensic examinations. There are road closures in place around the scene, and the public will see significant police activity in the area while detectives and other officers continue house-to-house and CCTV inquiries. This is an extremely tragic incident. Our thoughts are very much with the family and friends of Miss Widdecombe at this very difficult time. Our murder inquiry is in its early stages but moving at significant pace, and we are deploying all the necessary resources to find out exactly what has happened. I would appeal to anyone who may have information about this incident, however insignificant it may seem, to come forward and speak with us. While we release further information when we're able to do so, but in the meantime, I would ask people not to speculate about what might have happened, particularly on social media. That's not only potentially harmful to our investigation, but also deeply distressing to the family and friends of Miss Widdecombe. We've set up a major incident public portal for information. Images or footage can be submitted to us there, and this can be found easily on our website. Information can also be passed anonymously to the independent charity Crime Stoppers. Thank you very much. I'll now take a few short questions.
Was the offender known to the victim?
We remain open-minded throughout the investigation and we're making those inquiries, so too early for me to comment further on that at this time.
Christine from Sky News. Is there any indication that the murder was politically motivated?
No, at this time, again, it's early stages of the investigation, so we'll remain open-minded. At this time, I've got no information to believe that that is a politically motivated crime. Please.
Alex Barker, Channel 5 News. Had you received any threats before this?
Well, we work very closely within national protocols to monitor those within the MPs and the political environment. I think it'd be wrong for me to comment about anything around an individual at this stage of the investigation.
Paul Greaves, Devon Live. Is there anything more you can tell us about the nature of the injuries Miss Widdecombe sustained?
Well, again, I think for both sensitivity of the family and friends and also this stage of the inquiry, it would be wrong for me to comment on that any further right now. But when we have further details of any part of the investigation, we will, of course, be briefing out to you.
Andrew Kay from Greater States News. Can you tell me about the police presence in the area that's ongoing this evening?
Yeah, so police presence will remain high for a number of reasons. Most of all, we're still evidence gathering within our investigation. So, like I said in the statement, CCTV, etc. But of course, we also want people to feel safe. At the moment, I don't know of any ongoing risk, but we know that the presence of our officers, just to make people know we're there, be available to give advice, etc., will be around. So you can expect an increased presence throughout the weekend.
Was the 26-year-old man arrested locally, or was he outside the force area?
So the person we have in custody has been arrested within the force area.
Was there any struggle when he was arrested?
I'm not going to give any further details about our operation activity today. Thank you. I'll take two more.
Sorry, was he known to you?
Again, inappropriate to comment, I think, on the individual facts of the case at this stage of it. Thank you.
Any signs that anything was stolen from the property? Was the property broken into? Were you seeing it as a burglary gone wrong?
So, all the things that we need to work on throughout the investigation, and the key thing I think for us is obviously all our efforts today are focused on this investigation to get the right outcome for Miss Widdecombe's family, friends, but also to make our communities feel safe and confident that we have some of the best officers working on it. We remain open-minded as to that question. Nothing further to say at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Police Matt Longman confirming that a 26-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of Ann Widdecombe's murder and he is in police custody. He is a white British man, and he also clarified there that the incident is not being treated as terrorism. Well, that from a press conference that was delayed by over an hour. Let's join Sky's Amelia Harper, who joins me now. And that delay, we can see why, in what is becoming a very fast-moving case indeed, Amelia.
Yeah, a high-profile incident such as this will require a fast-paced police investigation, but we have just had that press conference now. It was meant to happen at 4:30, delayed, quite delayed. They are normally delayed a little bit, but this was quite delayed. It was being run by Assistant Chief Constable Matt Longman. They had the statement at the police HQ in Exeter, and he took some questions. Let's just run through what we now know. Crucially, we now know a 26-year-old man has this afternoon been arrested on suspicion of murder. There was a question from a journalist, was the offender known to the victim? He responded to say they remain open-minded. There was another question from a journalist on motivation. Was it politically motivated? He responded there was no information to lead them to believe it was politically motivated at this time, but the theme through this press conference is they remain open-minded as to all of the circumstances surrounding this incident. There was another question on this 26-year-old man arrested to do with was he arrested locally? He confirmed that this individual was arrested within the Force area. We are told this person is a white British national. He said a lot of what we knew earlier today, that police were called to the home in Hayter at around 11:40 a.m. Yesterday. Ann Widdecombe was found dead in the property, having sustained serious injuries. We didn't have any questions or any information on what type of injuries she might have sustained, but crucially, police are urging people not to speculate, to, one, protect the integrity of the investigation, and two, to ensure that there isn't extra distress for Ann Widdecombe's family and friends. He confirmed that the next of kin have been informed. Crucially, he also said that as part of the initial inquiries, they did consult with counter-terror colleagues as part of these initial investigations and confirmed it is not being treated as terrorism. As you would expect at the moment, police are conducting inquiries with locals around the area. They have said CCTV will be crucial, as is quite usual in a situation such as this, where someone has sustained serious injuries and has been killed. He said it was an extremely tragic incident. He urged the public not to speculate on social media. And they have said that the police has opened a major incident public portal where anyone with any information, images or footage can share that with them there. They've also said you can make a report to Crime Stoppers as well. We've got images there on the left of the house and the police presence around the house. Police confirming in that press conference that there will be a high level of police presence there to continue to obviously take information from people if they are approached, but also just to reassure local people as well. But we now have that knowledge that a 26-year-old man, a white British national, was arrested this afternoon on suspicion of the murder of Ann Widdecombe. They remain open-minded as to the motivation. They say that he was arrested locally within the Force area. They confirmed that counter-terror colleagues were contacted, were consulted as part of their initial inquiries, but they confirmed this is not being treated as terrorism. We can see that police presence there outside of their home, Ann Widdecombe's home. There is some sort of awning erected on that police van that we can see there, and they'll be using those vehicles to gather the evidence that they can as part of what they're calling a very fast-paced investigation at the moment.
Amelia, thank you very much indeed. Amelia Harper there. I'm joined now by police commentator Graham Woodturn. Graham, now that a suspect is in custody, how does the focus of the investigation shift away from the golden hour parameters that you spoke about not that long ago?
Well, it moves into looking at the suspects, investigating them, their movements, possibly seeing clothing, forensic evidence, etc., and trying to place them at the location where the victim is at the right time, as in the time of death. So they're working in conjunction with medical professionals, establishing the time of death, establishing the cause of death, and then trying to link whatever suspect they've got in custody to those things. So the job, almost the investigative side of it, continues now, but takes on a different perspective, a different motivation. They've only got a certain amount of time with the suspect while they're in custody to gather enough evidence to convince the Crown Prosecution Service they have enough evidence to then charge them with whatever offences are relevant. So a key phase for the investigation team, but I think it shows how quickly this has moved. There's been no image released because they now have a suspect, and I would suggest that they're now confident they've got the right person. It's possible they had either images or dash cam footage, etc. They decided evidentially now not to release anything because that could prejudice any sort of fair trial that might happen in the future. They've obviously got enough now to pursue their investigative leads with the suspect they have in custody. But it's a key phase now for the investigation team. Interviews will start very shortly. I think they said the arrest was made in the last few hours. So ordinarily, the suspect is assessed when they arrive at the police station. So the assessment around fitness for interview. Legal advice is then offered to them. So it could be a couple of hours before they even sit down in an interview with the suspects and start speaking to them.
Just talk about the timeline you mentioned there. The detectives are working under regarding the maximum custody time they're allowed to have with him before they charge or have to release him.
Yeah, 24 hours initially. So it's broken down into set periods. The detention is reviewed by a custody inspector. So it's at 6, 9, and then finally at 24 hours, they review it again. It then moves to a superintendent's authority where they can extend it for a further 12 hours. If they still haven't reached a decision to charge, they then go for what's called a warrant of further detention, where they have to go to a magistrate's court. And this can be done over the weekend. Go to a magistrate, get a warrant of further detention. Got up to 3 days to keep someone in custody before they make a decision. But they've got time to do this, albeit suspect is allowed to be put into rest periods so they are properly fit and ready to be interviewed at the right time. But the issue for the investigation team is, and a key question always is the motivation, the why question. They mentioned they've liaised with counter-terror colleagues, which is right and proper when you've got an individual of Ann Widdecombe's history, status and profile. At the moment, they're not treating it as terror-related, so they're keeping, again, an open mind on the motivation. But that would be a key question for them, not just how this happened and what took place, but why. The why question is always a key one for any investigation team.
OK. Graham, thanks very much indeed for the time being. Graham Woodturn, a police commentator there.